All right, buddy, it's time to practice. Let's do some ball throwing, all right? You ready to go? Oh, almost. Oh, you're not catching very well today, bud. Let's keep working on it. Oh, let's try one more. Oh, boy. All right, buddy, here is my outfielder's glove, this huge, huge glove. Maybe that'll help you out. Let's see if you do any better. Okay, buddy, here I am. Oh, you still can't get it with that big one? All right, here, let's try this again. Oh, good try.
Dad, that's not a... Oh, brother. What is that?
All right, buddy, it looks like you've been using gloves that are either way too small for you or way too big. You know, we got to find one that fits you here. Let me just look here. What do we got? Okay, you know what? I think this one should do the trick.
Thanks. This feels great.
Oh, excellent. It works. Okay, here, let's try this. Ready? See if you can catch this. All right. Keep going. Hey team, Pete here from sportconsumer.com, and today we'll be talking about some of the things to look for when you're looking to buy a kid's baseball glove, youth baseball glove. You'll notice we're not going to recommend any particular glove here on this video just because on sportconsumer.com we have our latest recommendations and they change every year, and so we want this video to be a little more of an evergreen kind of a thing that'll stick around for years, and we'll just give you the tools to use when you're choosing a glove, not telling you which is the best glove for that season. For that information, as I said, go to our website. We have our best choices for the season listed out there for this year. All right, so the first thing, before we get into some of the things to look for specifically, you want to be aware of some of the parts of a glove just basically. So when you hear us talk about certain parts of a glove in our reviews, you know what we're talking about. So first thing is webbing. Obviously, well, I say obviously, most people would know that would be the webbing right there, okay? Sometimes they all have different designs, different gloves, right? So that right there, the webbing. The palm of the glove is actually the pockets. This can be a little confusing because the palm doesn't mean way down here by your palm. It means the pocket, kind of right here, just below the webbing, including some of the webbing, that general area. The heel of the glove is this area down here near your wrist. And then, of course, the fingers are the fourth one. Obviously, you know where the fingers are, right? So that's just so you kind of know what we're talking about when we say this one has a better palm than the other, etc., etc. So the first thing you want to look for or consider with a glove is the material that it's made out of. Leather is far and away the most popular material. It's the most comfortable and most durable. Can be a little bit more expensive, so you got to balance what your priorities are. You know, you can figure it out. Different kinds of leather, top grain, full grain, premium leather. I'm not going to go into the details in this video because it doesn't really matter. What matters is, can you afford it and does it feel good? All right, so I don't even care what kind of leather it is. There will be some degree of break-in time required, and even some of the most expensive gloves, I put them on my hand, I'm like, this just does not work for me at this moment. So you do have to work it in. There are special oils you can buy. Most of you probably already know that. So yeah, that's what you're getting with leather. You're getting a good quality glove. Most pros have leather. It's a good way to go, for sure. Most lower end, mid to lower end youth gloves are synthetic. In fact, I think pretty much all of these four that I have here are synthetic as well. So it's really, there's no real advantage to synthetic other than the price. All right, and they pass. Some of them are actually, like this particular one that I've got here. It came very soft, so you can get. It's sort of a hit and miss sometimes. You just kind of gotta, get one and then check it out. But this one that I have here is very, very soft. This particular Rawlings, and it allows your hand to open and close easily. But I have other synthetic gloves that even I, as an adult, can hardly open and close. And so, yeah, it's going to discourage your kid more than anything when he's playing with that. So I would be careful about synthetics. Not necessarily stay away from them totally, but I'd be careful because you could run the risk of frustrating your child because the glove just doesn't open and close and the ball is bouncing in the glove and then falling out. All right, so just be careful about that. Another material that is often used is mesh, and more often than not, it's used along the back of the glove rather than the entire glove, and it helps for ventilation. But I personally don't have a problem with super sweaty hands that ventilation on the back of my glove would fix during a game. So it's not a big deal for me, but and by the way, it has the ability or the potential to stop the nice soft broken in feel of a glove, because you can't really break in mesh as easily. Any material will kind of give from its initial memory, but not as good as leather. Leather is really good for that. So, and then the last material I'm going to talk about really quickly is just treated leather. Okay, and treated leather is another name for it is preconditioned leather, and that just, well, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's pre-broken in, it's worked over, it feels much nicer. It does not mean you're not going to have to break it in. You still will, but the break-in period is just going to be much shorter. But of course, as you can imagine, the price is going to just be higher for a pre-treated or a treated leather. So that's a bit about the materials. A couple other things to consider is the size of your glove. Now this is a little tricky part because some parents feel that the bigger the better, right? Especially if you're an outfielder. If you have this big, huge thing on your hand, you're more likely to catch a glove or a ball that would otherwise, just go sailing right over top. That's not necessarily true. They're slow. Your kid will be slower and clumsier with it, and you're really not helping him to develop any skills. All he's doing is, putting his arm out and praying instead of developing actual hand-eye coordination that is a little bit more necessary with a smaller, better-fitting glove. I would say stick to the age recommendation for the glove. On the gloves, there's a tag on it that says this is the ages that it's for. I would stick to that. I wouldn't deviate too much from it, though you can do a little bit depending on the size of your kid, how big he is for his age. One of the things that's curious to take note of these days is that oftentimes, I know gloves that I've had for years, your hand sticks right inside of the glove and your wrist goes right up to the edge of the glove. And what's becoming more common is that gloves are made so that part of your wrist actually sticks out of the bottom of the glove. I can't even put one of these on, so I can't really show you what I'm talking about, but I think you kind of know what I mean. So it looks like the glove is not totally on your hand as much as maybe some of the older gloves, but it theoretically it allows for a little bit more movement, versatility, a little bit more reach than a standard glove or the way they were made in the past. Also, as far as sizing goes, in the past, position and age have been looked at as being a really important factor, and they still are. However, keep in mind that by the time you reach early high school age, you're wearing a glove that is the same size as the pros. So it doesn't really matter that much that you're finicky about sizes. Don't worry about it once they get a little bit older. A little bit younger, yeah, you might want to get the right glove for their position and their age. So size does matter. When you're looking to buy a glove, typically it is the material itself that is the main differentiating factor between a less expensive and a more expensive glove. It's not so much the size or the cut of the glove, but the material. So as you could probably imagine, as I mentioned earlier, the preconditioned leather is the most expensive, but usually youth gloves are not preconditioned. They're not as easy to find preconditioned. You're probably looking at leather or synthetic leather. If you want to be really nice to your kid, then you want to get a soft leather that will probably encourage him or her in the sport a little bit better than a junky quality synthetic. One other final thing of note, my guess is you won't stumble across this, but you may. Some gloves, and I don't have an example for you here, but like right by the thumb part is a little loop on the outside. And it's kind of we call it a thumb pocket. And it just allows a smaller kid's hand to be able to control the glove a little bit better. Without that on the outside where they can put their thumb, if a little hand goes into a glove, especially a glove that's a little bit too big for them, when they do this and open and close, the glove itself is not doing too much. It's not opening and closing. And when they catch a ball, instead of catching the ball kind of between your thumb and your forefinger in the area where the pocket would be, that's actually where their hand is kind of sitting, if it's a little hand in a bigger glove. And they can't really control the glove as easily. The ball is smacking into their hand. It'll probably hurt a bit more. So these exterior thumb loops help to mitigate that problem just a little bit. But I would say it's probably more important to just get the glove that fits. All right, so just to summarize, what you're looking for is a comfortable fit, obviously, otherwise you're not going to wear it, or your kid's not going to wear it. You're looking for something relatively soft so you can open and close it, and my suggestion would be the softest and most comfortable glove you can afford. I mean, that might seem like common sense, but you'd be surprised. Some parents think that maybe a synthetic glove can be broken in, and it can't really, and any breaking in that does happen even a little bit is going to happen too late. The kid will probably grow out of it, and if they're even playing at that time. So I would get the most expensive glove that you can afford, but keep in mind, soft, pliable, and I would stick to leather. The other thing is, when you do get a leather glove, do your best to try to break it in. There are different ways to do that, and you can check out lots of YouTube videos online about breaking in gloves, and we'll probably have a link below that will bring you to such a website or such a video that gives you some ideas and thoughts about breaking it in. All right, guys, if you have found any use at all in this short video, any information that can help you when you're looking for a glove for your youth, please do give me a like, and I'd love for you to subscribe. My heart would be overflowing with joy, and I really do appreciate you checking this video out now, and we look forward to bringing you our very next video very soon. And one final thought, make sure that when you finish watching this video, just check out one of these other videos that I've got going on over my shoulder, above my head, just because if you take off right now and go to sportconsumer.com to check out our youth baseball gloves, YouTube actually doesn't like that. They don't like when somebody just does a little quick hit on YouTube and then takes off. What they want is for you to binge on my videos, at least 2 or 3 of them, and then they go, hey, this guy's pretty good and he's offering good information and we like him, so we'll put his videos near the top instead of near the bottom. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel, and I do look forward to talking to you very, very soon. Till then, peace.